Welcome everyone back to the channel. In this video I'm going to bring you an overview and a long-term review of a Google Nest Cam or a Google Nest Cam system. This is something we've had for about a year and a half. This is going to come as a general consumer. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but we really wanted a security cam for our home. Just to have a little bit of peace of mind. And so we looked at all kinds of different options out there. We looked at Arlo, we looked at Ring, but we ended up settling on the Nest system, and I'll kind of go over the specific reasons why we did that. I'll get you some shots of the camera and how it's all set up. But first thing I'm going to do is show you kind of what you get in the box and what you get if you actually buy one of these things, which I believe they're around $199, so $150 to $200. Sometimes they do go on sale from time to time. The neat thing about them is you can have as many as you want. So they do have options to have more than one camera. Currently we have two for the front and back door, which is kind of how most people would probably have it set up. But you can add all kinds of different cameras and their actual subscription service where you have to pay monthly to get the continuous live stream uploaded to the cloud, like if you want a 5-day continuous stream. That's been simplified too, to where you're not actually paying for each camera, but you're more paying for a subscription base for the whole set, so it's not as expensive there, which I'll go into that. But first let's go over the specs here and show you what's actually in the box. So I'm going to go over kind of what you get in the box with just one of these. You can get this for $149 right now on Amazon. I will put the link below. You can also get a dual pack for, I believe, $238. So if you want to buy two at one time, it is a little cheaper. But this is this general box that it comes in. And I'll kind of give you a shot of the specs here. Tons of information. The big thing is that it's 1080p. So this is a 1080p webcam or camera, and it is IP65 water rated. So that's a pretty good rating. You shouldn't have any issues with it. Regular standard power plug, so you don't have any batteries or anything to actually deal with there. So getting in the box, obviously the camera's not in here because it's outside, but I'm going to give you guys a shot of that. So this is generally where the camera would sit, is in there. Again, I'll get you the shot of that outside. You get all your mounting hardware, so you're going to get a bunch of screws. You're going to get little secure things to secure the wire to somewhere outside the house, and you'll get a bunch of other kind of anchors there for your screws. Tons of stuff, plenty of hardware. Again, we didn't use all ours, so you have plenty of extra hardware if you have to run it a long way. So this is just your welcome home. I'm not going to show you the installation and how to install this thing and how to set it up. It's very self-explanatory. Just follow the steps, but kind of gives you a general idea of just kind of a welcome. And this is your installation guide. Again, very simple stuff. I'm not going to go over that because it's pretty common sense. So it kind of goes through where to set it up at, good angles, how to pair it with your phone. Basically, there's a QR code on the back that you scan, and it will pair to your phone. You do need to plug this in, so that's one thing, is you got to make sure that there is a power outlet, because if there's not, it ain't gonna work. And that's really it. I'm not gonna go over all this stuff, but that's really all you get in the box. So now let's go outside and take a look at the cameras. So this is our front porch, to just give you an idea of actually how we mounted the camera and just generally what the camera is like. So this is the front of it, 1080p. Again, it does have audio, so there is a little speaker here that you can actually do audio on, and then there's a little QR code, which I'm covering up with my thumb here, that you just scan to your phone to actually pair it. It's pretty simple to pair, and I haven't had any issues with it unpairing down the line, but it feels well built. It has a magnet on the back, so that is your mounting hardware, where you're actually going to put it at, and it just clips up like that, and you can basically swivel it around. Pretty strong magnet, so you won't have to worry about it falling off. And this is one of the negatives and positives, depending on how you look at it. But you actually have to run the cable to a power outlet. So if you do not have a power outlet outside, this system will not work for you. But basically, we just have it run up here, and then that's where you plug it in at, and then it runs on here to a power outlet. So this is a waterproof outlet, so you will need some type of outlet outside in order to get power to it. Very long cable. These are actually fairly good cabling too, so I don't think I'll have any issues with it getting nicked or anything, because they're pretty thick. It seems pretty well built. So So we get back to this cable. You can see that it's pretty well built. It's a little dirty because this has been out here again for a year and a half, but overall, very good quality stuff. Really like how the magnet just sticks on there and you can swivel it around, which makes it easy to adjust. So now I'll give you guys a shot of the backdoor camera. It does have a little green light that indicates when it is on. These also have night vision, so they see really well at night. I'll kind of show you that, but this is just our back camera. Same as the front one, same mounting setup, same type of overall general setup for that. Again, you got to have somewhere to run it, and you have to have a power outlet, which we do down here. So you do have to find somewhere to plug these things in at. You could also get an electrician and have it to where you could mount it inside. You could probably drill a hole or something in the wall and have them, a professional, actually do that. But plenty of wire, so you do have a good decent length with the wire here. Generally this is hidden back here, but somehow it's came out. That's the only negative, is that you do have these wires everywhere and you do need a power outlet out here. So now I'll give you kind of a quick overview of the app. We really actually like the app and how it's laid out and how it's pretty easy to customize and adjust things. It is a little laggy at times, but it's been slowly getting better day by day. So that just gets you a general shot. So it's the Nest app. You have your home, which is ours, backyard, front yard. So basically what you do is you just tap on the feed and it will have basically all of your footage here. Actually, you could see me coming up. And if you want to actually talk to it, you can just hit the talk button and talk to it. You have 30 days of here, kind of like a little calendar that you can get to. As you can hear the birds in the background on there. And then this is how you actually go in and, like, if a person comes up, it will notify you. You'll get a notification if someone comes up within field. And we'll just do... This was a video of me actually with watering one of the plants, so you can see when a person comes into view, it will notify you and give you a feed of that. And you can scroll through it pretty quick. It's pretty responsive when it comes to scrolling. Again, we don't really have any issues. Backyard's the same way. Again, if a person's within view, which you can see me filming this, it will notify you, and you will also have a feed of the person that you can scroll through. So that's it. Again, you can set it up in many different ways. There's all kinds of different, you can add family members, you can set it to turn off at certain times, you can have it notify you of sound, you can have it notify you of just someone coming into view. There's all kinds of different options you can do there. And then your support chat. That's a good feature. I've actually used their support for on this, and it's fairly quick. It only took a couple minutes, so we haven't had any problems there. It kind of gives you the temperature and the cloud cover, or if it's sunny. But that's it. Pretty good app. I will show it to you on the desktop too. So this will kind of give you a shot of it on actual desktop. I have this on my laptop, so if you don't have your phone within range, but you have a laptop, you can get to it. Basically, it's the same way. You have your backyard, front yard. It's actually a little more responsive when you use your computer versus the phone, but you can turn the cameras off through here. You can turn them on. Again, same settings that you actually have on the app with your phone. It's just a little easier, I think, to navigate. But there's tons of different options here to, if you want push notifications, if you want to set a schedule up, sounds, motion, all kinds of different things you can set. That does take a little bit of time. That could be one negative, is that you do have to set that up. But overall, pretty easy, no issues. So that's it. That's the desktop version. Again, nothing too fancy. It's very similar to the actual app you actually use. Now we're in conclusion time. We've kind of went over what's in the box, a few things about what we like and don't like about it. Obviously, if you do not have an outside plug, this is not going to work. It requires you to be able to plug it into something. So if you don't have an outside plug and you're not willing to invest and maybe get an electrician to come out and install one, or run it to the inside of the house, which you could do if you drilled a hole in the wall and had them run the wiring through there. I wouldn't recommend this just because you're not going to be able to use it. Arlo and Ring, I believe, both have a battery-powered one, which you can look at. But if you don't have that, it's not going to work. But let's go over the bad first. Obviously, if you don't have an outside plug, it's not going to work, so that's bad. You can cut the cord. So that's something to look into. So if someone was coming up and wanted to actually break in, they could just cut the cord to it. But you would actually get a video of them actually doing that because it's a pretty wide focal length for the camera. It's a little expensive, $149 for just one camera right now. So if you're not willing to make that investment, you're gonna have to look at some cheaper options, but they're all fairly in that $100 to $200 price point for one camera. So you're gonna pay that, I believe, no matter what. You're gonna have to pay a subscription, so it's at least $6 for both of our cameras. That's what we have to pay monthly. But if you start looking at other security cameras, they're nearly all like that. If you want continuous cloud footage for 5 or 10 days, you're gonna have to pay some type of service for it. So that's really it as far as the bad. Another thing is that if Google has any type of outage, your cameras are gonna be out. We've had one outage over the past year and a half, and Google actually refunded that month's money, but you are reliant on them. But this was a fairly new system, and for them to only have one outage over a year and a half, I think is pretty impressive. So that's all the bad things. The good things, great camera, 1080p, the footage looks great day and night, even when you zoom in on someone. It's fairly easy to distinguish who they are. Setup is easy, you get plenty of hardware. The cord to actually mount the camera is fairly long. We were worried about that when we were mounting this because we have one plug that's pretty far down, so you do get plenty of hardware, extra hardware even if you need to. You lose something or something breaks over time, you do have a little bit of extra stuff. Very well built, IPS 65, so it will withstand some weather. Ours has been outside for a year and a half. We live in Ohio, so we get real cold, real hot, all kinds of different weather, and it's worked continuous nonstop. So that's one thing, is that I believe this will probably last for as long as you keep it. I don't think that it's going to degrade or die over time. And we've actually had pretty good luck with Google support, getting things fixed or troubleshooting things. It's very easy to set up. Instructions in here are extremely clear. Once you get it paired and everything, you're done. You get it paired, you get all your settings set. You don't really have to mess with all that. The app's good. We haven't had a lot of issues. Again, sometimes it is laggy, but that could also be a phone or an iOS or an Android issue. But we overall like the app. Most of our stuff is Google related. Our Wi-Fi is too, so we're familiar with their type of settings and how they kind of set things up. So that's something that you may want to think about if you're not used to their stuff. But it's very easy to navigate through the app. And we also like that you can use your computer and log into your Nest account and actually do it through there and just monitor your footage if you want. You can download clips, so that's nice. We actually had someone run over our mailbox, so we actually just looked back on when it was, because we had an idea it was at night, and we literally just downloaded the footage and we just sent it off to the city, and they actually came out and replaced our mailbox for free, just kind of as a good sake thing to do, because they couldn't distinguish or find the person that did it, but basically it literally just ran over our mailbox. So you can catch stuff like that. So if someone was to break in, you can clip that footage fairly easily. Anything else? So that's it. Overall, we really like it. I'd recommend it to anyone, especially if you have an outside plug and you're into the kind of the Google ecosystem and familiar with their settings. We both have Apple phones, and it works great there, but we do have the Google Wi-Fi and the Google Home, so we are a little bit more integrated into the Google system when it comes to kind of their smart home stuff. So that's it. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. If you like videos like this, feel free to give this a like, and I will try to do more stuff like this. But overall, we're really happy with it. We've had both of them for over a year and a half. We got them on Christmas, so about a year and a half, and no issues. So that's it, guys. Have a good rest of the day, weekend, whatever day it is. Be safe out there, and I will see you guys next time.